What's good? How y'all doing this evening? Welcome back to the Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast. It's your boy, The Don, with my co-host, King. What's good, man?
What's good, Don? How you doing today, bro?
Hey, man, I'm great, man. I can't complain, man. Let's get into the show. We got up, young and coming Atlanta sports content creator, Blake Newsom, man, the Atlanta kid. Hey, man, if y'all ain't checked out his platform, go check him out, man. This kid is very, very good, very knowledgeable about every team in the city. What's good, Blake? How you doing?
Hey, I appreciate you guys taking some time to invite me on your show today. Nice to meet y'all, and let's talk.
Hey, man, appreciate you, man. Look, keep growing, man. Stay focused. Hey, you got nothing but love from us over here, man.
Yeah, the grind don't stop, bro. Keep the grind and keep doing everything you need to do, bro.
Exactly. All right. If you're new to the channel, y'all already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this content out with Atlanta Sports Fanatics, and hit us up in the comment section. As always, come holler at your hometown sports podcast. All right. Before we get into anything, let's go ahead and pay these bills real quick.
All right. Support for Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below the waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. They obsess over technology development to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. Join the movement for all your below the waist grooming needs. As y'all know, me and Don, we rock with Manscaped hard, especially the Lawnmower 3.0. I used mine yesterday. Got me right. Also used my ball deodorant and got me right there too. What about you, Don? Oh, he repping the shirt today.
I got the shirt on. Hey, I did my manscaping yesterday, so I'm good. And I haven't cut myself or anything like that. I'm feeling good down there. You know, my nose, I got the nose trimmer. Hey, I can breathe.
That's been working good for you, bro?
The nose trimmer? Oh man, it works wonders, man. I'm telling you, it gets up in there and cut all that stuff out. All that stuff out.
I ordered mine. Mine should be here soon. That's why Manscaped has redesigned this electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineer team spent 18 months, longer than some of y'all spent in school, perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever, created the Lawnmower 3.0. Their third generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents, thanks to the advanced skin-safe technology pioneered by Manscaped. Like I tell you all the time, read the directions, use it correctly. Don't try to sue nobody because you cut yourself, because it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be painful if you cut yourself. Want to know why? Because it got 7,000 RPM with the motor with a quiet stroke. So it's gonna hurt if you nick yourself. When I tell you it's premium, I mean premium. The battery lasts up to 90 minutes. Battery lasts long because we want you to take your time. Take your time. And it's waterproof, so you can use it in the shower. And if you can't see, your lights go out in your house and you still want to manscape, it comes with a LED light. You can see. So it got everything you need and a charging port, people. So Manscaped got everything you need for the electric trimmer. Trim that junk of yours, get it nice and clean. They got other products if you need it. Get 20% off, free shipping with the code FILASP 2021.
All right. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to go back on the nose trimmer real quick. Guys, it is very, very important to trim the hair in your nose. If you don't, guess what? All those nasty boogers and particles and stuff, that can get you sick. You have to trim your nose. All right. The best thing to use is use the nose trimmer from Manscaped. Purchase that. It's not that much. Use that code FILASP 2021. Again, the code to get 20% off and you get plus free shipping. FILASP 2021. Use that code. All right. Let's get into the business for the night. Before we do, let's say hello to everybody that's in the chat. All right. Bennett, what's good? Pizza Man's here, the Atlanta boy. We got the Atlanta kid. He's on the show right now with us. All right.
Those are my friends. Ignore them.
Hey, that's good, man. I'm glad y'all can join. Hey,
exactly.
We gonna try to get y'all in bed on time for school. We ain't gonna keep y'all up that long. All right. Okay, let's get into the news. So The Atlanta Dream has secured the 3rd overall pick for the 2021 WNBA draft. So that draft, I believe, will take place sometime this summer. And the past few years, the Dream has been having top 5 picks. So hopefully we can build a squad and try to win. So
trying to do their Philly thing, that Philadelphia 76er thing.
hey man, that's what you got to do,
Trust
man.
the process.
Yep, you got to do the process. Exactly.
They ruined it though with all those trades.
But hopefully they'll get better, man. All right, Georgia Tech. Let's talk about college football a little bit. Georgia Tech. They hired Ian McFarland as the new brand manager for Tech. They also hired Sean Boyle, Thomas Gordon, and Gary Wilkins as the new strength and conditioning coaches. So hopefully these guys can get these guys right on the flats, ready for the 2021 football season. All right. College basketball. Georgia Southern this week. They played Coastal Carolina. Well, they didn't play Coastal Carolina. That game was canceled. And then today they played Coastal Carolina, and they lost that game 65-55. On Tuesday, the Bulldogs, they played Mizzou, and they won that game 80-70. And then they played yesterday, they played Florida, and they lost to Florida 70-63. Georgia State, men's Panthers team, they played this Tuesday against Troy, and they beat Troy 80-66. And then on Saturday they beat Troy again 65-53. Georgia Tech men's Yellow Jackets game was postponed on Wednesday. However, they played today against Miami, or yesterday against Miami, and they won that game 87-60. What's good, Ultra Shadow? What's good, everybody in the chat, man? Thanks for joining us, y'all.
Knight, you too, bro. What's up, Knight?
Oh yeah, what's good, Knight? Women's basketball, Georgia Southern. Both games was postponed on Tuesday and Friday against Coastal Carolina for Georgia Southern Lady Eagles. Saturday, yesterday, they played against North Carolina Central, and they beat them 84-60. UGA Lady Bulldogs, their game on Thursday against Vanderbilt was canceled, and they played today against Tennessee.
Let me look at that while you
All right, we'll get back to that in a minute. And the Lady Panthers, they played Tuesday against Troy, and they lost that game 91-70. They played Friday against Troy again, and they lost that game 79-60. And then yesterday they played Troy again, and they lost that game 84-78. The Lady Yellow Jackets, they played this Tuesday against Miami. They beat Miami 67-56. Thursday they played Florida State. They beat them 62-48. And then today, the Lady Yellow Jackets, they lost against Boston College 49-43.
Yeah, they beat Tennessee, the ladies, UGA 67-66 on a close one.
Woo!
That was today. So
and Tennessee's ranked 21st in the country.
Yeah. So
the Lady Bulldogs have been playing well this season.
They really have. I haven't watched any of the games, but based on what we've been talking about and the notes we do, they've been winning a lot. So that's always important.
All right. Everybody in the chat that came for the Atlanta kid, the Atlanta boy, hey, make sure y'all give us a subscribe. Like we do good work over here as well. All right. Baseball, the Braves, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about the Braves here in a minute too. They signed Jack Lamb. Charlie Morton is back with the Braves. The team moves Travis DeMarte to AAA, the Gwinnett Stripers, and then pitchers and catchers, they reported this past Thursday. The rest of the team they came in earlier today, but spring training will start tomorrow. All right, Atlanta United, the new kits will be unveiled this week on Friday. Atlanta United, they also loaned defender Fernando Mazza to Argentina's Defensive Justica. I'm not good with Portuguese or Spanish, so bear with me. Also, Atlanta United is targeting Vale Sarsfield center back Lautaro Giganti. He is a Gabriel Hines player. So Hines is trying to bring some of his players from Sarsfield from down there. So this would be good. Atlanta United also completed a loan for Ronaldo Hernandez. Falcons. This week we released safety Ricardo Allen, defensive end Allen Bailey, and we waived quarterback Kurt Benkirk. They saved $10.75 million in cap space. These players can be resigned, but they can be resigned to a lower deal. So I don't know if we bring back Kurt Benkirk. We'll see.
Todd Gurley next.
You know,
I think Todd's on a 1-year deal, I believe.
Yeah, he's on a 1-year deal, but they want him, but he's trying to politic and get another contract. So my thing, I like Gurley, but at the same time, man, get young Gurley back and get you somebody, you know, Najee.
Somebody that got better knees, right?
Yeah.
Can't be a running back with bad knees.
Hey, Najee or even Javonte Williams. You seen Javonte Williams from North Carolina?
I didn't get to see much of North Carolina games this year because they're on an ACC network, and my cable doesn't get that, unfortunately. So I know the name. I haven't seen much of his film.
Yeah, go watch his film, man. This man, he did it. He what Najee did with Alabama, he did pretty much the same, but he did it without a line.
Oh. Yeah, Alabama's line's pretty damn good. So
you know who else did good things out of North Carolina? Sam Howell.
Man, come on, man. You keep talking about
Sam Howell. We're gonna draft him next year. I got high hopes. We're gonna draft him next year. That's gonna be our quarterback. I'm telling y'all, Sam Howell, get on the train.
Well, hey, anything besides, but we'll talk about more Falcons talk later on. Go ahead. Let's talk about what happened with the Hawks, man.
All right. So as y'all know, the Hawks are sucking right now, real bad. They're 1-3 in last 4 games. 11th in the East with a 12-17 record. And if you know me and been following me on Kings Realm, I said if they went below 10, it was time to fire LP. And guess what time it is? Fire Lloyd Pierce. Fire Lloyd Pierce. I'm on the train. I'm tooting the horn, and I'm on it. So ain't nothing that can get me off because this is ridiculous. As y'all know, this roster was built to compete, and they not competing. If just like the Falcons, you can't escape bad coaching, as Don like to say. And this is bad coaching. They lost to the Knicks 123 to 112. That's when what's his name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. I can't think of his name right now. You said what?
Nate McMillan?
No, not Nate McMillan. The player. Julius Randle went off and he had 40 that day. So had John Collins looking like he don't know how to play basketball, but we know his defense is suspect anyway. They went and they beat the Celtics. So that's good that they beat the Celtics. That was Nate McMillan's first game. So everybody was like, oh, well, it's Nate McMillan. He's really good. Nate McMillan came back the next game and got thrashed by the Celtics. That first game they played the Celtics, everybody wasn't really playing. Kemba didn't play. And as you see, Kemba went off when he did play. So this was not a good week of basketball for the Hawks. They're currently playing Jamal Murray and the Denver Nuggets, who have been who has been balling lately. Jamal Murray dropped 50 yesterday. No free throws, y'all. No free throws for everybody that be talking about Trae Young and the free throws. I'm one of those people. No free throws. He dropped 50. So I don't want to hear nothing when I start telling y'all he's shooting too many free throws. It's not winning basketball. And as you see with a 12-17 record, obviously, and him being second or third in free throws, obviously it's not winning basketball like I keep telling y'all. We got to win by putting the ball in the hoop outside of the free throw line. So as this game goes on, keep y'all updated with the game. And the Hawks just suck right now. We need to hire a new coach. I'm on a train of hiring Dominique Wilkins. That's who I think we could grab. He sounds good in the booth. He looks like he knows what he's talking about. If they want to replace him, they can replace him with Vince Carter. He's been doing good with his play-by-play. So that's my spill on the Hawks, brother. They suck. They suck. They have to get better.
Injuries.
Yeah. I would say, see, that's my thing. You would think it's injuries, but then again, it's like some of these games we're winning.
Yeah.
We're winning.
The last couple minutes.
Yeah, and it's like the last couple minutes of the first half and the beginning of the third quarter. It's just like what happens. Do y'all not make in-game adjustments? Do y'all not do the things that you're supposed to do as a coach? As we see, Trae Young comes down and he'll shoot a three, and the offense not even set up yet. Multiple times. They don't run a lot of screens. They don't do a lot of off-ball screens. They run a lot of pick and roll. It's high school basketball. That's what it looks like. It looks like high school basketball. And you're in it. Yeah. And NBA, that don't work. It doesn't work. Everybody in the NBA can defend the pick and roll. If they couldn't, we would win more games. We wouldn't be 12-17. So
seems like the Falcons came in to State Farm Arena multiple times this last couple of months and sprinkled a little bit of their pixie dust in there. And along with what you were saying earlier about how we lost in the Knicks, the Knicks are our freaking kryptonite. They've been in the dumpster the last 10, 11 years, and the Hawks, no matter if they're up, in the standing 6-8 games in Madison Square Garden, State Farm Arena, whatever you have it, they seem to beat us. It's just ridiculous.
Yes. So let me ask you this. How do you feel about Lloyd Pierce?
So I believe this was his testament year. As you know, with the last couple of years, he was brought in as one of the developmental coaches, to bring this brand back together. He and Travis Schlenk had known each other from time out in Golden State. But the thing is, as you were mentioning earlier, now that he has the team put together to win on the court, he simply can't do that. And once again, it comes down to the things the Hawks haven't been able to do over the last decade, along with the Falcons. It's just they can't close in games late in the fourth quarter. It seems like we got better at the rebounding, which with getting Clint Capella and Okongwu in the draft, that's helped out John Collins. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to put points up at the other end of the court, and it's unbelievable how we're going to the free throw line and win games. But at the end of the day, as you said, we don't win games via the free throw line. So I don't know. It's just I think it's getting to the point where you got to make a decision on him.
Yeah, and I think the decision should have been made. It should be made now. I think he should just go. Nate McMillan should stay intern. That would be a great idea, but it's time for somebody to go. It's time for everybody to go. But somebody needs to be fired. Somebody got to pay the price on this with this situation.
Because hopefully it's not John Collins to go because he wants out.
Well, honestly, John Collins can go too. His defense is not where it needs to be, and then sometimes he'll have a game where it's like he's not even on the court. He shows up too late for the game. So I don't know what be going on with him. And when you got Julius Randle dropping 40 on you, that's a problem. Not saying Julius Randle is a bad player. We know Julius Randle can ball, but 40, you couldn't slow him down a little bit. Like, come on now, that's ridiculous.
So, what you know about the Thrashers?
He used to run an Atlanta sports page that was dedicated to Thrashers, and he also had season tickets when he was very little. So hockey's his main niche. But
so, how old is he?
He's my age. He's actually a couple months older than me. He's about 8. I think he's going to turn 18 this summer.
So he was like 9 years old when he was talking about the Hawks.
I don't know his whole background story, but I do know that he ran multiple Thrashers support pages on social media a couple of years ago, and he's still a diehard Predators fan. He watched the Predators over the Hawks. So
look, Atlanta boy, look, I need your information so we can talk because I love hockey. All right.
I'll give you that.
And I need I got a proposition for you, man. So hit me up, man. I don't know if you're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or whatever, but hit me up, man, so we can talk business. All right, let's get into the topics. So the pitching rotation. Let's talk about the pitching rotation for the Braves in 2021. How do you think it's going to look?
So I've noticed a lot of people around social media, especially in the baseball room, have been thinking that the 6-man rotation might be the meta for the MLB this year. It's still a COVID season. They're playing more than 60 games. The depth is going to be crucial, and a lot of people are saying 6-man rotations are probably going to be the meta. And, of course, that will go to show when we get Mike Soroka back, hopefully May, June, or at latest the All-Star break. Of course, we hope he returns to his ace status later in the year, especially in 2022. But Max Fried's got to keep building on what he did last year. We got the big man, Ian Anderson, one of the best rookies in the class last year. Charlie Morton, as you guys noted earlier, was great in the playoffs, former Brave from a long time ago. He's definitely going to be a nice veteran stud in the rotation, and hopefully isn't the same pattern as what happened to Cole Hamels last year. And then it comes down to whether Drew Smyly and Kyle Wright make the rotation or not. Because I believe Bryce Wilson is better situated in the bullpen, especially if Shane Green isn't signed back.
Yeah,
I believe at the end of the day, those are probably the six names if there were to be a 6-man rotation.
Yeah, I think because everybody Wills need to be a starter. I'm like, no, you need somebody in the bullpen that can, because you're gonna have some nights that some of these guys can't go 6 innings, and you need somebody that can come in that can get solid 3 innings out of. And Wilson, you can get 3 or 4 innings out of this guy easily.
And hopefully Newsom is better. If he's wanting to stay in Atlanta, I saw him solid numbers from him in the pen in 2019. I get he wants to be a starter, but at the end of the day, it's just not cutting it. Yeah. And I believe if he goes back to the pen, he and Bryce Wilson can be two great guys to get out of the pen in those long relief roles.
I agree. All right. Now, Ozuna has signed to deal with the Braves. All right. And they're going to put him at left field, I believe. I just don't. His defense is just not. He's all right, average, but far as I just don't know. But like now, we don't have Austin Riley anymore, or not Duvall. We don't have Duvall anymore. You didn't have no choice to put him in left field. What's your take on that?
So as we all know, the DH isn't going to be here. So at the end of the day, where can you put him? Freddie's at first, Ozzy's second. You got Dansby and Riley at third. He's not going to play in the infield. So your only choice is just going to put him in the outfield. And when you think about the guys that are around him, he should have a good enough support. Christian Pache, who's going to make his debut this year, probably will start towards the end of April. As soon as the contract rolls over, he'll start being an everyday guy. And I believe he in center field he's going to be in the next Andrew Jones. And I believe he's going to help Ozuna a lot from that corner spot. And even on days where Pache needs a rest, you got Inciarte off the bench, at least for this time being. He's still in the Braves organization, 3-time Gold Glove winner as a Brave. And Ronald Acuna has come along as one of the best gloves in the outfield. So at the end of the day, I think there's support for him. It's just a matter of can he make the plays he needs to do in left field.
Exactly. All right. And I'm glad you said that about Pache, because Pache, to me, I think he can be a bigger player than Ronald Acuna. Mm-hmm. A lot of people say Acuna. Look, have you seen this man play?
I've seen him, but that's a Ronald Acuna is a baller. Like that man
is top 10 player in the league already.
Yeah, that's a high stake, brother. I would even say something. He was saying,
Go ahead.
He said top 10. When I say top 10, I'm going like 6 or 7. So this year he could be top 5. So I'm just saying that's a high stake to put somebody at.
I'm glad he got rid of his dreads. He looked a little silly out there with his dreads on. So.
Brother.
No, not you.
Brother.
Maybe that's a little ironic now, isn't it?
Brother.
Yeah, he just looks a little goofy. He's rounding third base, and he looks like he's trying to be Andrew McCutcheon, which we know he's not. So.
Hawks are currently losing, y'all 12-9. It's early, but they're currently losing.
Man, we just keep taking L's. Yeah, blanket wrestling. I don't think we're gonna get another hockey team here, man. We tried it 2 times, and the league is not gonna give us a third franchise, man. What somebody should have did was Blank should have just came in 2011 and just bought the Thrashers up from up under the Atlanta Spirit.
Yeah, it's poor running.
Yeah,
the Atlanta Spirit group is commenting all the time.
Exactly, and we should have never had them playing downtown. They should have been playing like in Gwinnett County or something like that.
Because everybody loves the Gladiators out there. I've been to a couple of those events out there, and they're a local team. The whole community gets behind them and the Swarm. So
I'm telling you, man, I love the Gladiators. And then Savannah, they supposed to be getting the hockey team too. Mm-hmm. So that's gonna be like a little in-state rivalry right there. But it's it is what it is, man. Like I'm sad. I know you're a Nashville Predators fan. I'm not a Nashville Predators fan. I like my Canucks and I like my Islanders. Okay. So Knight said, I have a question. Who's your favorite Atlanta Braves player of all time?
For me, as somebody who didn't grow up with a lot of the 90s legends, I'd have to say Chipper. He's one of the last people that came into my generation that played, with the Atlanta dynasties from the 90s. So I guess out of this point in time, it'd be Chipper. Of course, it's subject to change. I'm a motor mouth.
Mm-hmm. All right. He said his is Andrew Jones.
And I've met him. He's a very cool guy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I like I like Hank Aaron. I ain't never seen him play though. That's the thing. So And he's one of my top 5 players of all time. You know, we talking about all sports.
So. I'm a Ronald Acuna guy.
Ronnie.
He's my favorite Brave.
Yeah, Atlanta boy. Exactly. Atlanta boy, y'all agree over there by Truist would probably be a good idea. They did talk about building an arena over there just cause or whatever. They may lure a team out there or something like that. You never know. Some teams can relocate. A team can relocate. That's the only way I think a team will probably come to Atlanta if they relocate. Like Arizona, you also got Florida. They might not be doing well down there. I don't know what other team that probably could relocate, but you know. All right. Now we see the Mets look like they did well this offseason. Phillies looking good. The Marlins, they've been quietly, getting acquisitions in free agency. How you think this season is going to look for the Braves if they're trying to go for a 4th consecutive run in the East? My thing is, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't care about no doggone division title. Just get to the World Series.
It's just, I mean, at this point, people my age have seen quite a few division titles, and people your age have seen many more. Yes. So at the end of the day, it's like we get the division titles an important deal in the MLB to get to this postseason, but get past it. I mean, looking at the division, it's getting tougher year by year. I would say the Phillies actually, in my humble opinion, have taken a step back. Harper wants out. JT Realmuto barely signed back. Hoskins and Alec Boehm, I don't think are franchise players, at least at this point in time. McCutchen, Jay Bruce, they're getting older. What did they do to fix that blowpen of theirs, pun intended? And it's just I don't see the Phillies being able to contend. I believe they'll be able to make some noise in the division, but I think the Phillies, honestly, have a shot of being under the Marlins if the Marlins overperform like they did this year. I believe the 3rd place team in the division is obviously going to be the Washington Nationals. They had a better offseason, coming off their weird 2020 season, trying to defend their title. They brought in players like Kyle Schwarber, Josh Bell, Brad Hand. They're getting Victor Robles back, so they'll be a decent team in the division. But I think it's really going to come down to Atlanta and New York. I think that's what mostly everybody thinks. But I think we play them three series in September. Those series are going to be the most crucial of them all because, they picked up quite a few acquisitions. Francisco Lindor and Carrasco to be a huge one. They brought in their catcher, James McCann, Trevor May. They solidified their bullpen. Just a matter of can the Braves, on paper, I do believe, are the better team. But can they win the head-to-head matchups, especially when it matters?
Yeah.
I do have a question for y'all, though.
Go ahead.
So, of course, you guys know we brought up Christian Pache a little bit earlier in the show. And we got Azuna and Acuna locked down and the other outfield spots for the next few years. What happens to Drew Waters, the hometown kid? What do you guys think his future is with Atlanta?
You gonna bring that up? I know he's gonna bring that up. Oh man. I don't know, man. That's a good question. Like Waters, I don't think he's gonna be he's not gonna be relevant this year, but I think 2022 we may bring him in mid season and see what he got. But we got Azuna on a 4-year deal, I believe.
I believe so.
All right, we can probably have an out for him after that 2022 season and not get hurt or whatever. Or we could probably trade him, and then you just put Waters right there left field.
But at the end of the day, do you really want to wait 3 or 4 years with Drew Waters about to hit his prime potential and keep him in the minors? Would you rather bring him up, see his potential, and get a trade package for him? Because the Braves need that one last guy, whether it's in the bullpen or in the third base spot. If they brought in Jose Ramirez or somebody along those lines, I think somebody like Drew Waters, Inciarte, Luke Jackson, that would probably be able to put together a good package to get somebody like that. So I think you got to wait to see what his trade bait is, but not wait too long to the point where he's past his chance.
All right, I agree with you. I had a question for you, and I just totally forgot about it. Oh yeah, it's about the division. The Braves right now, we're looking like the Saints of baseball. We winning all these division titles. Yeah.
Oh my, bro.
We can't get to the World Series. Oh,
I don't know if the
is
on the same line.
Bro, I'm telling you though, I'm telling you, man, we looking like the Saints. We looking at the Saints of baseball, man, and like I'm looking like, man, we don't want all these division titles, and we can't even get to the World Series. I'm like,
You don't give
man,
him that respect. You forgot to take off the S, but
oh, they ain't.
Every year since last year.
hey, Slater.
You know, Sleeter.
Yeah, I've been in a couple of his chats before.
Okay, hey, we all connected, man. We all support each other around here, man. No hate at all. No hate at all.
I did see there was one channel that you guys are not sub to. That's a big Atlanta sports guy, Caden Alvis. If you guys want to check out his content for your guys'
Who?
Caden Alvis. He's a big Atlanta sports guy as well.
Caden Alvis.
He's 1.13K. He's about the same size as me.
All right, look, I like supporting everybody, man. So I'll check him out. Knight said don't always have to hit the home run. Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's what messed us up in the NLCS last year, man. We were trying to go yard, and we just didn't put the ball in play. Just put the ball in play. We panicked.
We saw what the Dodgers were doing, and we're like, I want to do that. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I mean, at this point in time in baseball, it's strikeouts, home runs, and walks. You don't see a lot of the the cycles or a lot of the hustle doubles or even the long 8-pitch at bats. It's just home run, strikeout, or walk.
That's it.
But with teams like the Dodgers, everybody can't beat the Dodgers with big bats. Sometimes you got to play different. Sometimes you got to get on base.
Especially if you don't have endless money.
Exactly.
You got to put the end of the day, fundamental baseball, when you hit bat, it ain't all about home runs. That people want to see that now because it's entertaining. Everybody can hit a home run. Anybody can hit home like 20, 30 home run. Back then, you didn't see that. You had like just special people like McGuire, Sosa. Yeah, they was juiced up. Buns, yeah, they were juiced up, but at the same time, like everybody want to do it. Now everybody can hit. But you always just put the ball in play. Get a single, get a double. Can you bring a runner home? Like that's what we need to do. I'm glad
get him in.
Yes, and I'm glad Chipper Jones is with the team as a hitting consultant. Like he's gonna pretty much tell these guys to put the ball in play. Chipper Jones, he hit home runs, but this man knew when he came in back, he gonna put the ball in play. He's gonna get a single or a double. He gonna bring some runners home. All right. Now let's segue into baseball, football. What's your thoughts about the Falcons this offseason?
I think it was long overdue to get rid of Thomas Dimitroff.
Yes.
Dan Quinn, it was gotten to the point where, we gave him his last couple of legs over and over, and he couldn't take use of it. I wasn't a huge fan of the Arthur Smith hiring at first. When I looked at it at first glance, when we were in talks with Joe Brady, the Kansas City OC, Belamini.
You talking about Eric Bieniemy? You wanted him?
I was hoping for Joe Brady, personally. I'll explain that in a second. But when people realize, the point of, Arthur Smith had been through 3 coaching changes alone with the Titans. You've seen how many times coaches 4, yeah. And to the point where every time a new coach comes there, more times or not, they're going to clear house. And people can say all they want about he was carried by Derrick Henry. At the end of the day, he revived Ryan Tannehill's career. He was one of the main guys that wanted to draft AJ Brown, the Julio Jones fanboy, to the point. And at the end of the day, people say, what about Belamini? He's a more high prolific offense. Well, if you say Derrick Henry was carried by Arthur or vice versa, what about Tyreek, Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce? I mean, when you think about it.
But let me tell y'all this though. All right, who's actually calling the offense in Tennessee?
Arthur Smith.
All right, who's actually calling the offense in Kansas City?
Probably Patrick.
No, it's always been Andy Reid.
Andy Reid.
This man been coaching quarterbacks all the way back to Brett Favre when he got there in Green Bay. All right. So Bieniemy was not calling the plays, and I told people this. I had a beat writer on my show, back in October, I believe, of last year, and they pretty much contested that, saying that Bieniemy's not calling the plays. Well, he's getting the plays from Reid, and he's telling Pat Mahomes what he needs to do. That's all he's doing.
Yeah. So,
I'm not saying up here saying Bieniemy's a bad coach or anything like that, but I think for what the Falcons are trying to do, Bieniemy just wasn't a good pick. I like the Arthur Smith hire. I say if we do hire OC as a head coach, I want either him or Brian Daboll from Buffalo. So
getting back to what I was saying about Joe Brady, well, first, you brought up a point about how Andy Reid was the play caller. And, you brought up the OC, hiring an OC. At the end of the day, what do the Falcons really need? Defense.
Defense, thank you.
But Dan Quinn was supposed to be the defensive mind guy, was a DC at many universities, high prolific blue bloods, and, of course, was the part of the Legion of Boom. But you see every year, he would say, I'm taking over the defense. We're going to be right back on top. And, yeah, I know there was injuries to Keanu O'Neal, players like, Takk McKinley getting cut. At the end of the day, it's not excusable. And when the offense fell off the cliff, what are you supposed to do? It's fun watching 38 to 35 losses if it's fun to watch a loss. But then when you're getting blown out on a weekly basis and nothing's changing, there's clearly something wrong.
Let me tell you something. Who when Dan Quinn was up there in Seattle, who's calling the defense?
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll. Dan Quinn was never proven. Mike Smith, I'm sorry, he was never proven. All right. We now hire a guy who's proven. He has a record of giving you results. Arthur Smith gave you results for 2 years in Tennessee. Also survived so many coaching changes at that place. So I'm not going to sit up here and say we're going to have like the top 5 offense, but if we can have an average, you got weapons. You got Matt Ryan, you have Julio, you got Calvin Ridley, Hayden Hurst, all these guys. You just need to get you a running back, fix the left guard, Najee, and you get your right guard, left guard on the offense, and I think we'll be fine. It's just that simple to me.
We always look at the team in the preseason and say the Falcons have the talent. It's just a matter of will they underperform.
It's the coaching.
Just hope for the best.
It's been the coaching for the past few years. It's the coaching. We've been talking about defense. Like, that's the problem with the Falcons. It's just the defense. Yeah, we got holes on defense, but the scheme that we were playing, man, it just was god awful.
And it looks like we got a nice couple of young guys to build around the defense. AJ Terrell was one of the weirdest looked at draft picks in, that first round. He seemed like he ended up being a solid pick. Of course, you got Grady Jarrett, excuse me. Hopefully, Dante Fowler does more than a half a sack this next year with his pay jump. I believe it was the second play from scrimmage against Seattle. He had a half a sack. Takk McKinley came in for a collide, and that's all we saw from the man. Deion Jones and Alua.
He said he was injured.
Yeah, he was injured for quite a bit of time. But
that's what he said. That's what he says.
I was injured, but
yeah,
we're gonna see how he do on it. What'd you say?
Real quick, Don. Hawks right now shooting 35% in the first quarter.
That's
35% in the first quarter. They're currently losing 33-24 with 45 seconds left. 2 of 9 from 3. This is
turn the TV off, man.
I'm going to bed early tonight. It looks like.
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, so what do you think about the draft coming up?
For the Falcons or the Hawks?
The Falcons. We ain't talking about it, man. We got time to talk. We don't even know when we go fall with this, but the Hawks. But they're the Falcons.
So the Falcons, as you guys know, have the 4th pick. I believe. If it's a time to draft a quarterback in most people's eyes is this year. I do believe you start Matt Ryan this year. Even if you draft a high prolific guy like Zach Wilson or Justin Fields, that's personally who I want. I believe the Georgia fans will be a lot more happy, with him coming back to the state of Georgia. And I believe scrambling quarterback might be best for this terrible offensive line that we usually produce. But I at the end of the day, who knows if we're going to get a draft quarterback or not? Regardless, if we do, we need to draft somebody that's game changing. Whether it's Penny Sewell, if he falls to us, he'd be a nice fit on the offensive line. Whether we take it, if we trade down for somebody like Najee Harris, I think it's somebody you need to fill a big position void and not get a depth position this year. Because at the end of the day, you need more than just that.
Well, we got a lot of holes on this team, so I like the trade back value. You get more picks, but scrambling quarterbacks. People think scrambling quarterbacks can escape pressure. That's not true. The top 2 quarterbacks for the past few years has been sacked a lot. It was Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson. Those 2 guys are scrambling quarterbacks.
And Russell Wilson turned into a pick machine in the second half. He was nothing.
And you go back and you look at Justin Fields, how he played against Bama in the the championship game. Yeah, he did not look good when pressure was all in his face. So just imagine on a pro level, you got grown men coming at you.
And I still believe, the 1-year treatment. You saw what the Chiefs did with Patrick Mahomes. He sat behind Alex Smith. Alex Smith led him to 5-0 and fell off. around the playoff time, and Mahomes came in year 1 of his starting and won MVP. Year 2, won the Super Bowl. Year 3, made a Super Bowl. And people wish the Dolphins would have done that with Tua this year. You saw Fitzmagic had to come in at every beck and call of Tua's young struggles. So, I mean, it just depends on what the Falcons really think they need. I do believe they need to find somebody that's game-changing and that's a huge hole filler instead of, let's just draft this quarterback from South Carolina State. And, that'd be unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's what Thomas Dimitroff loved to do.
Yeah, I just feel like, man, we need to get defense. We need to get some defensive guys, or we need to get Sewell to me. Sewell to me is a better player. And I'm not saying I ain't gonna say player, but he is a better pick than Justin Fields for the Falcons.
I mean, the Bengals fans will be on us if we take Penny Sewell from them, because we know Joe Burrow would love to have him up in Cincinnati.
Exactly. If we can get Sewell, I feel like that'd be a better pick for the Falcons long term.
Now, a question I have is, have the Dolphins have the Texans pick above us. What do you guys think they do with that pick? Do you guys think they trade it for a value, or do you think they draft somebody like Devontae Smith, get their wide receiver, and reunite him with Tua?
They may end up getting Smith. I think that'd be a smart move for them. They may end up getting Sewell. You never know. But they got 2 picks, so they can always draft a guard or a lineman or whatever, and then get your receiver first. So
I think we know who's going number 1. And if Urban Meyer decides to go that route, but it's just a matter of if the Jets want to make a stupid pick or not, and if the Dolphins trade back, we're right there. So
yeah.
I think they move back. I don't think they draft anybody with their pick. I think they're gonna move back with that pick.
Yeah,
that's my thought. Oh snap! Hawks down 3.
Don't get your hopes up. You'll be back to 10 in about 8 minutes.
That is true. That is true.
Y'all ain't right.
Hey, we just talking facts, brother.
I know, man. All right, so let's talk about soccer a little bit. I'm just, we talked about the Braves for a good bit. I just want to cover every team. Atlanta United. We know we got a new coach. We getting a lot of talent for the pitch. How you think this club is going to look this season coming up?
I personally can't get over the fact how they were set up for greatness for such a long period of time as one of the youngest clubs in the MLS. Of course, we're not a European club, but what they did on the MLS level was astounding. Just to sell the team. I'm still flabbergasted at why they sold. I mean, of course, Joseph Martinez is still here and he was hurt, but I'm sure at this point he's like, why am I here? They sold all my mates. And it just doesn't make sense to me. I personally didn't get to see a lot of their games this year. I saw a couple of their Orlando, the pre-COVID and when they came back in Orlando. But at the end of the day, I don't recognize half of the guys out there. You got Barco, you got Lorenowitz, you got Joseph Martinez, and Guzan's not getting any younger. But what happened to all the guys they decided to ship off? Guys like Miguel Almiron, guys like Pity Martinez, guys like Gressel, guys like Tito Villalba. You let Pogba walk. The older brother of the star over in France. You got Michael Parker's retired. You have LGP. He decided to transfer away. It just blows my mind how they were set up for such a long period of time and how exciting they were to watch. And the city loved them to what they all did in a snap of about a year. That's mind blowing.
Yeah, they kind of just got rid of everybody that was after they won the championship. It kind of went downhill for this team.
We got rid of when Tata Martino left. That was it.
Yeah, and they still had a pretty good. They still were one game away from probably winning the cup the year after.
Because we could have beat Seattle. I already knew we could have beat Seattle. Yeah, we should have beat Toronto, but the referees in that game too was trash. I ain't gonna lie. And we let them score in the first 10 minutes. I'm like, how?
No, we were up. I want to say 1-0, and then that really what happened is Brad Guzan got distracted and 43 yards away. That was it. That's all we saw that year.
Yeah. All right. Hawks. I know we're talking about the Hawks game right now. It don't look like we make it. What'd you say?
Still losing by 3.
I don't, man. We had hopes of at least us being an 8th or 7th seed right now, man. I don't even know.
At the end of the day, is Chris Dunn and Bogey and Hunter. Hunter's been great this year, but is Bogey and Chris Dunn really gonna change the whole year around when they return? I don't believe so. Of course, you guys know they have a play-in seeds through 7 through 10 this year, so the Hawks can aim for that. But I think at the end of the day, you got to decide if you want to keep your group and keep them happy by making the playoffs, or do you want to tank for one more year? And whether you want to keep Lloyd Pierce or not, we brought that up earlier. It's just, I believe the Hawks have the talent. And of course, we know, we had a great offseason. We brought in a lot of depth that we badly needed, and the young core is there. It's just a matter of how they use it. It's similar to the Falcons, but with the Hawks, man, I mean, I believe we're doing great with the rebuild. You guys, you see, we're in year 3, and we haven't made the mistakes the Sixers made, by trading for Butler, trading for Tobias, and sending all their depth away. It's just a matter of what can they do to break through. They got to make their decisions now, and it's either they're going to make the right ones or not. We got to hope they make the right choice.
Yeah, it's just like you said, they have to make the right choice. And as I'm currently watching a game, Trae Young is not on the court, and it's still 33-30, and we're 10 minutes and 37 seconds left in the second quarter. So, like I said, and like I always say, once Trae Young leaves, we don't have scoring.
We become a high school basketball team.
Yeah, it's just I understand Gallinari has to do more, man. We paid this man to come off the bench. He decided to come off the bench. He asked to come off the bench. Come off the bench, put up some points, man. Like, can I get a 20-point game from you? Can I get one?
Sure. Hey, can we get 16 points? That's all we ask.
Yeah, we just need you to maintain while Trae Young is off the court.
And it's just crazy how much LP is fluctuating the rotations. Brandon Goodwin has had minutes here and there. Solomon Hill. You've had who's the guy we traded for from the Pistons? His name's slipping my mind. He was on the court the other night. What's his name? We traded for him for Deadman. Tony Snell. He's had minutes here and there, but the core of the rotation is flipping game by game. Of course injuries are going to happen, but it seems like the only 3 guys we've seen in the rotation on a solid basis in the starting lineup are Trae, Clint, and Collins. We've seen Reddish start and come off the bench. We've seen Herder come off the bench. We've seen Gallo start. It's just he's got to come up with a better system, and if he doesn't, get him out of here.
Yeah.
He did his job, and that was to develop.
Yep, you're right. All right, well, that's pretty much it. Look, man, Blake, I'm gonna be honest with you. From 50 minutes that we've been talking, you are really smart, man. You know everything about every team and all the sports that we cover, because we cover all of this, and King, he's the basketball guy. I'm the football guy / I like hockey and I also like baseball too. But every question we pretty much threw at you, man, you pretty much said everything. Your takes are very, methodically on point. Yeah. So you very knowledgeable. Yeah, you're very knowledgeable about everything you say, man.
It's crazy. How old are you?
I'm 17.
At 17, you sound a lot smarter than these 25-year-old, 30-year-old Falcon fans and Hawk fans. You sound way smarter than them when it comes to sports, bro. You're gonna do great things in life, bro. Keep
exactly. Running. You ain't talking like these other guys.
Still on the team.
People sit up here and say, "Oh, we need to trade Matt Ryan." I guess. But anyway, but yeah, keep building your channel, keep building your brand, man. Just keep your head up, stay humble. We'll talk later about some other ventures, about everything. I don't want to say anything on the live because it ain't nobody else's business what we got to talk about. So
yeah.
But once again, let everybody know who you are, man, where they can find you at.
It's my channel is The Atlantic Kid, all lowercase, all one word, and I'm sure if you guys look in the Forever I Love Atlanta Sports podcast channels, I'm featured there. And yeah, thank you guys so much for having me on. It was a pleasure.
Hey man, it was a pleasure having you on, man. I've been keeping my eye on you for a good minute, man. And I said, you know what, I gotta have this kid on the show, man. Because I was thinking at first, you look younger than what you are, and I'm like,
yeah, I do.
And I'm saying, okay. Yeah, I asked you, I said, how old are you? You said 17. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do 17. Anything over 16, Yeah, we can have you on the show. You know.
Yeah, I'll be 18 around Halloween, so I'm getting there.
Hey, turn up.
Well, hey, you ain't an adult. 18 ain't nothing but a number, but you ain't an adult till you can take care of responsibilities. So don't get too wild on Halloween night, man. Just
Hopefully we can go out and party. Well, you can go out and party. COVID is over and all that other stuff. You can go to the club for the first time.
Knock on wood there. Knock on wood for that.
Exactly. All right, everybody who watching live, appreciate y'all so much for joining us. If you're watching this at a later time, let us know in the comment section what you think about the show. Everybody who been following us this whole time, thank y'all so much for staying with us through all this crazy fiasco stuff. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, y'all already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this content out with Atlanta Sports Fanatics, and hit us up in the comment section. As always, come holler at your hometown sports podcast. It's your boy The Dunn with my co-host King.
Always remember to love yourself, people. Love yourself.
Yes, love yourself. That's correct. All right, y'all. We about to be out. Thank you, Atlanta boy. Appreciate the love, man. Make sure y'all share this out to everybody else so we can get some more subs and everything. So appreciate it. We out. Y'all have a great evening.
Peace.